Hello and welcome to Estuary TV News with me, James Dunn. In the show tonight, we go to Spurn Point to talk about the RNLI.
And join me later with all the latest sports news.
But first, here's Richard Morris with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, disabled people could stop receiving the help they need next April, and healthy eating advice is being given across North East Lincolnshire. Today, sections of the A18 will continue to be closed for verge and grass cutting along the area. Tomorrow, the A46 between Morrison's and the Oaklands will be closed. Only one lane will be open at a time, and this could reduce traffic flow. We've got a final update on these road closures tomorrow. Humberside firefighters have shown they're the best in the world at an international competition. They finished first in the World Rescue Organisation's Trauma Challenge, which saw 30 teams from around the world extricate someone from a car after a road accident in a mock exercise. Humberside's team finished first, with Hampshire second and the Luxembourg Red Cross in third. Dean Sanders, Chief Officer, said it shows the local community that the very best is on hand should the worst happen. Campaigners fear many disabled people will stop receiving the help they need when new legislation comes into force next April. The CARE Act aims to end the postcode lottery system by setting a national framework governing what care local authorities provide. But as council budgets shrink, many fear that councils will be forced to change the way they assess need. There is and will continue to be a duty on councils to provide funding for severely disabled people, but workers at Choices and Rights in Hull, which advises and protects the rights of disabled people, believe people with less serious needs will suffer.
The fear is that as the budget shrink, the people on the lower end of the spectrum, those with moderate needs or substantial needs, will no longer be eligible for services. I mean, we've seen it happen over the years. Local authorities routine to fund moderate needs, but very few local authorities do that now. Each year the threshold is sort of rising. Those people tend to have to either cope on their own, cope more with family and friends, voluntary sector organisations.
Diana Johnson, the MP for Hull North, has backed a bill from Barbara Keeley MP to exempt unpaid family carers from the spare room subsidy. Figures from the Department of Work and Pensions estimate that 60,000 carers are affected by the subsidy, otherwise known as the bedroom tax. Diana Johnson said she is awaiting an opportunity to scrap the tax altogether, and in the meantime will support efforts to address some of the worst aspects of it. An art centre in Scunthorpe is getting ready to open a unique dog-themed exhibition which will run for 6 months. Shaggy Dog Stories is an exhibition which involves two elements. The visual element are silicone dog sculptures in wheelbarrows, while the other element, a written piece, involves a newspaper of stories compiled by the artist of the exhibition when he took one of these dogs for a walk. We asked exhibition organiser Dominic Mason about what will draw people to this exhibition.
Well, it's very colourful. It's as soon as we're setting it up and unloading them from the van, people in Church Square were coming across asking us what was happening. I mean, one of the unique draws is, I guess, similar to walking a dog. There's something very approachable about them. People don't. I mean, we have some exhibitions here people feel threatened by, or they don't think they can engage with, whereas these, everyone kind of understands it and everyone understands what's been going on. I mean, the need to communicate with people is something quite universal, I think.
People in North East Lincolnshire are being given free healthy eating advice in libraries. Healthy eating teams are visiting venues giving advice to people about eating the right foods, what to buy to be healthier, and even giving cookery lessons. The initiative comes amid rising obesity rates across the country. We asked Pam Moore, a community nutritional assistant, about what advice these sessions were giving people.
Well, hopefully we can give them some advice. I've just had a mother and son, and they've got all the things in to make the healthy granola that we've done in the cupboard. And she said they do buy granola, but it's quite expensive. So this is a cheaper way and a healthier way of doing it. You know exactly what's gone into it, so that you know what you put in your body. So sometimes people don't know how to cook, so we would give them advice about making things healthier, so cutting down on fat and sugar and salt.
That's all from us for now, and we'll be back with more news soon. Bye for now.
Thank you, Richard. Now, the RNLI in Cleethorpes is a vital institution and it relies on funding from the public to stay open. It costs £385,000 a day to run, and based at Spurn Point, the Humber lifeboat station is the only one with a full-time crew. During its 200-year history, it's carried out some outstanding rescues. Every year, an opera dinner is held to raise funds for them, and it's organised by Hull man Richard Marriott. And he joins us from a blustery Spurn Point. Richard, hello. Just tell us, what's your fundraiser about?
Well, it's all about raising money for the RNLI, in particular the Humber lifeboat station at Spurn Point. Something I've been doing for over 30 years, and other charities as well, of course.
And why in particular the RNLI?
The RNLI, I think, is very special in as much that any charity that saves lives is an amazing charity. But this one is special because every time those lads get a shout, you know, they drop everything, they're down that jetty, they board the lifeboat, they're out in all weathers, 4, 7, 8, 9, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They're out there and they're putting their lives on the line every time. So that means a great deal to me, and it certainly means a lot to the people who they're saving.
And the opera dinner that you've organised, you've been doing it for 4 years now, haven't you?
I've done three previous ones, yeah, and they've all been very successful.
And just tell us, what can people expect to see on the night?
Well, they can expect to see an amazing array of live singing from 4 professional opera singers of international repute. We've also got a guest appearance from a young Hull girl called Emily Rustill. She's only 15. She's got the voice of an angel, and that's a surprise for everybody that she'll be making a guest appearance on Saturday.
I know the coxswain of the Humber lifeboat, Dave Steen-Vorden, likes opera. Is this for his benefit?
No, not particularly. Dave is a Catherine Jenkins fan. I'm sure that a lot of people saw him on the Surprise programme, which was a fantastic advertisement for the RNLI. It's not for Dave particularly, although he does in particular like this event. We do lots of events, but I think this is his favourite.
And will there be members of the RNLI crew there?
Yes, we're privileged to have Dave Steen-Vorden, who's obviously the coxswain, his wife Karen. We've got some lifeboat crew members joining us as well. So yeah, everybody who does attend can get the chance to meet them.
So all importantly, how are ticket sales going?
Well, I've got to be quite honest, the ticket sales are not going too well. The last 3 previous opera events that I've done have raised £28,000 for the Humber lifeboat station, which has gone towards much needed equipment and training, etc. But I'm afraid this year, because we're in difficult times of austerity, you know, we are feeling the pinch a bit, so I'm hoping that we can boost, within this next week, we can boost our numbers. All I can say to people is, don't be put off by the word opera. Opera seems stuffy and heavy. I can assure you that that's not the case. It's got certain elements of humour to it as well. You're not looking at performers on the stage. The singers come and mingle among the audience and integrate with the audience. It's a fantastic night. And we've got Blair Jacobs of Radio Humberside, great friend of the RNLI. He's going to be our MC for the evening. So anybody who wants to come along, I can guarantee, and I mean that, guarantee they will enjoy the evening. And I always say this, if nobody enjoys it, if by the end of the evening that people have not enjoyed it, I will personally refund their money.
And just remind us, if people do want tickets, how do they get hold of them?
Well, they can ring me direct on my mobile, which is 07850 736 086, or they can email me at camertonhall@gmail.com.
And we're running out of time, Richard, but before you go, just remind us, when and where is it?
It's at the Hull Guildhall in the banqueting hall, a fantastic venue. The Hull Guildhall, which is in the centre of the city. It's on the Saturday, the 25th of October, and it's 7 for 7:30.
And the money all goes to the RNLI, doesn't it?
Every penny that's raised will come here to Spurn Point for the Humber lifeboat station.
Well, I'm afraid we've run out of time, Richard, but thank you very much for joining me with that beautiful view. And speaking of which, I've actually got Dan Kemp here with me. He had some pretty good seats at the Emirates at the weekend.
I wasn't the good view then?
I'm afraid not, no, Dan.
Yeah, we're sat on row 13 at the Emirates, directly behind the corner. Such a good game.
And not too unlucky for you then, row 13.
No, not at all. It was a fantastic day out.
Happy
fantastic
to come away
view.
with a draw?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can't complain with that.
Not quite revenge after the FA Cup, though.
No, but it'll do.
Well, I'll let you tell the story.
It's not been a bad weekend for our local sides, with none of them suffering defeat. Hull City had an injury-hit afternoon at the Emirates Stadium against Arsenal, but took a point on their travels. The Tigers went behind early, but Mohamed Diame powered through the opposition defence on 17 minutes to equalise. Abel Hernandez headed the Tigers into a shock lead early in the second half, but Danny Welbeck nicked a point for the home side in added time. Mark Robbins' first game at the helm of Scunthorpe United ended with his side taking a share of the spoils. The Iron took the lead through Rory Fallon midway through the first half, but were pegged back on 33 minutes. Isaiah Osborne made his debut at half-time, but there were no further goals and United remained one place from the bottom of League One. Lionel John Lewis netted twice for Grimsby Town as they won 3-2 at Torquay United. Craig Disley also scored as the Mariners picked up the victory, which lifts them up the conference. North Ferriby United drew a high-scoring encounter at home to Guiseley. Tom Denton scored a double for the Villagers. Jason St Just's free kick found Denton's head at the far post to give the Villagers the lead, and his second saw him arrive at the far post after St Just again supplied via a cross that was parried by the Guiseley keeper. They now sit 10th in the Conference North. The new Super League fixtures have been announced. Hull Kingston Rovers open up on Sunday the 8th of February at home to the Leeds Rhinos and travel to the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats the following week. Hull FC travel to the Huddersfield Giants for their first encounter of the new season and host Warrington Wolves on match day 2. The first derby of the year is on April the 2nd at the KC, whilst the return fixture is on January the 19th. This year's Magic Weekend is to be held in Newcastle and the two sides clash there on the weekend of the 30th and 31st of May. In other Rugby League news, Hull KR have announced the double capture of Gold Coast Titans halfbacks Albert Kelly and Maurice Blair. Kelly scored 18 tries in 47 appearances in the NRL for the Titans and the Cronulla Sharks, and Blair has 99 appearances in Australia's top flight. Cleethorpes golfer Holly Clyburn lost out in the sudden death playoff at the South Africa Women's Open. She lost out to South African Leanne Pace, who managed to birdie the second extra hole of their playoff. Fellow local golfer Humberston's Sophie Walker finished tied in 22nd. The Hull Stingrays registered their first shutout of the season with a 2-0 win over the Edinburgh Capitals on Saturday. Netminder David Brown saved 21 attempts on the net, and Zach Rivato and Corey Tanaka each scored for the Rays in the Elite League clash. On Sunday, they lost out in overtime to the Nottingham Panthers in the Challenge Cup. Jordan Mayer netted both Hull goals as they picked up a point in the competition. And that's all for the sport. Back to you.
And all for the show, I'm afraid, but don't forget that if you do have any stories you'd like to share with us, you can get in touch by calling us on 01472 31553. You can get in touch on social media, search for us on Facebook or Twitter, or email us on news@estuary.tv. So from me and Dan, bye for now.